Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to give you a weekly preview of what's going to happen during our week 3 of boot camp. Today is April the 3rd. I can't believe it. This week and this year has just flown by. The first thing I want to show you is instead of doing ELA first, we're going to look at our social studies first. So you're going to start Unit 9 this week. Unit 8 test was from last week. And if you wanted to do the Unit 8 project, I sent that out via email last week as well. So if you are looking at your Unit 8 test grade and you don't like what you see and you've already had your other 2 attempts, then go ahead and do the Unit 8 project. It's a lot of fun. It's over Texas symbols, and I'll show you the slides in just a minute. But what are you going to do for 9.1? This is Unit 9, and guess what? There's only Unit 10, and then I think after that, we're done. So there's only 2 more units in Texas history, and there's only 2 more projects left. So if you really want to work hard and get your grade up in social studies, let me know and I'll send you the links to the projects. So right now I'm showing you your OLS in social studies, and it starts off with 9.1 early Texas economies. An economy is just basically what they spent on and what people made for the goods and services that people spent their money on. All right. So it goes through here, early Texas economies. We're still in 9.1. If you'll make sure you'll read everything, make sure you use open up the ebook, read about the American Indians in Texas. Also make sure that you are reading the student guidelines as well. Okay. Well, that's that. Now, let me move over the Texas symbols. And this is the unit. Let's go back to Unit 8. Unit 8, the test was done last week. If you have a grade for your test and you don't see it in the grade book, will you please send me a picture of the grade and I can change it? I can only change it if I see a picture, okay? So this is your Texas state symbols, and it says Unit 8 project. It was due back on March 30th, but I extended it, and I'll extend it through this Friday if you want to do the Unit 8 project, okay? So it's about Texas symbols, Texas state symbols, and it says you will create a PowerPoint presentation that shows the different symbols of Texas. If you want to use a poster, you can do that too. For each one, you will have an image or a picture and give at least 2 sentences that explain what the symbol is and 2 facts about the symbol. So 3 sentences for each symbol. You must include your source for information. An example is included. So remember, we don't just cut and paste. That's plagiarism, which means you're stealing someone else's ideas or someone from a book that wrote a book about it, and it's their pictures and it's their research. Always make sure that you give us the source. Like, for example, let's say someone got a picture and a couple of sentences, but they wrote it in their own words. You still need to make sure that you credit the picture, where the picture came from, and you can just put it at the very bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like. Basically, you're telling, like, for example, if you wrote a story about Texas and someone stole your words, that's called plagiarism. So we need to make sure we give credit to the author that drew, or the illustrator that drew the pictures, and the author who wrote the words. So here are the symbols you must include. You will get a 70 if you just have bird, fish, flower, insect, tree, large mammal, and song. How do you get 100? You can choose up to 3 of the following, including these. So you get a 70 if you get all of these. Then you add on 3 more to get 100. You can do any of these that you see on my slide 3 extras and you'll get 100, okay? Okay, so here's an example. The Texas flag is on your list. So they wrote on here, the colors of the flag are the same as the United States flag. The designer of the flag is unknown. The flag's nickname is the Lone Star. Now look over here. There's 2 sources. At the bottom, let me move myself. At the bottom, it says source, https://www.patriotwood.com. And she got it from a blog. So you need to make sure that you're getting the information and sourcing it at the bottom. Then you also do it for the picture. This picture under the Texas flag, it says this photo by unknown author is licensed under CC-BY-SA. So just make sure that you get the credentials of where you got this information so that we can not have plagiarism in your examples, okay? How is the Unit 8 graded? Well, it says that for each symbol, you'll get 1 point, pictures 3 points, and 2 separate facts 3 points each. All right, so you have until Friday of this week, April 6th, to get in the project. All right, so that is social studies. So again, you have your Unit 8 test was last week. If you're not showing it as a grade and you see it in your plan, then let me know, take a picture of it. But you got to go check your grades. Check your grades because sometimes the grades don't appear correctly. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. So let me know what your grade is if you don't see your grade for the Unit 8 test. Also, can you check 8.4 as well? I'm missing a ton of 8.4s in social studies and the test 8.9. So check those 2 for me. And then if you want to do the Texas Symbols Unit 8 test, just do it on a piece of, you can do it in a PowerPoint presentation, you can do it in a PDF or in a Word document, that's okay. And you could also do it on a poster and take a picture of it, but they all have to be in an attachment and sent to my email. And y'all know what that is. You hear my cat meowing? Okay, now let's go over what we're going to do for English Language Arts. This is boot camp week 3. I can't believe it. And as always, we have class kicks, and I'll show you that in a minute too. All right, so don't forget, this is week 3. Don't forget you have your chant and your Ghostbusters tune to Test Crushers. Day 1. This morning we talked about paired passages. We read a story today about the night flyers. Some of you compared it to the squirrels that fly, and others of you had just read the one passage. But then on Wednesday and Thursday, we will read the other passage and we'll talk about why they're paired. And the way we pair passages is that we compare them and contrast. Compare means to find the similarities, and contrast means to find the differences between the 2 passages. And so we're going to show you that again on Wednesday and Thursday. All right, so don't forget that when you are reading a nonfiction, the first thing you do is to ask yourself, what are the text features on this? Are there titles? Are there captions? Are there real life pictures? That's what you need to ask yourself when you are looking at a nonfiction passage. Okay, so as you know, you read a story today or tomorrow about the night flyers, and it says, look at the text features from our text from today. What do you think this text might be about? And we did some guessing. Then we went down to day 2 and we talked about author's purpose. Author's purpose is 3 different things, right? Author's purpose, 3 different ways that an author decides how he or she wants to start off their book. And one of them is to entertain. The second one is to inform. And the third one is to persuade. So something different that is different from an author's purpose is how the author organizes. So this is author organization. Things like cause and effect, things like description, things like problem and solution. And so you can find all of that in our recording. Remember, if you miss a class, you can look at the recording and find out. Okay, so basically that's what we're doing this week. We're doing paired passages. We're still talking about nonfiction this week. Last week we talked about fiction, and we're doing nonfiction this week. Also, don't forget to ask your learning coach to show you your TOPS testing email about where you are going to be and what time and what day. I think you'll feel a lot better if you know when your STAR reading test is going to be. It's going to be somewhere in between April 18th and April 28th. So you're going to have one day between those 10 days for your STAR reading. So I want you each to know what day you're going and what time so that you'll feel better and you'll be able to be prepared accordingly and get a good night's rest and breakfast in the morning and bring your water. That's it for today, friends. Hope you have a great week and study hard. Do all your class kicks that we talk about. Check the recordings out. Attend class. And if you are invited to a small group, please attend that as well. Have a great week. Thank you. Bye.